Good morning, my dear children. In the previous class, we discussed the first part of the story, how I taught my grandmother. Now, let us continue with the second part. Okay? So, before I start with that second part, let me read the last paragraph which you have understood that. Okay? So, what is that? When I was young girl, lost my mother. There was nobody to look after and guide me. Okay, and she was narrating grandmother. Actually, she was narrating the story to the young girl. My father was a busy man, got married again. In those days, people never considered education essential for girls. So I never went to school. I got married very young and had children. So I became very busy. Later, I had grandchildren, and I always felt so much happiness in cooking and feeding all of you. At times, I used to regret not going to school. So I made sure that my children and grandchildren studied well. Up to this, we have studied. Okay, children. Now let us continue the next part. Okay, so what she said, that she was narrating the story, her helplessness, how she is actually not able to get that education, how education was not important, and why in those days people never think about education is essential for girls. So she did not go to school. She got married very young age and had children, and she completely become busy and no time to her to read or go to school. So now later she had a grandchildren, always felt so much happiness in cooking and feeding all of you. So she is narrating the story to whom? The young girl. Here, the first person here, she is talking to the young girl. At times, I used to regret not going to school. Regret means she was feeling very unhappy. So I made sure that regret means not actually she was feeling sad because of the past experience. Made sure that my children and grandchildren studied well. Okay, so she think that even if I have not studied well, at least my grandchildren, they should study well. So her intention shows that. Okay, now we continue the second part now. Okay, so you have understood that how she was actually narrating her story, why she could not go to school, and she was regretting, she was feeling sad, and she was telling all the things the in front of her granddaughter. Okay, now next, I could not understand why my 60-year-old grandmother was telling me. Was I here? Here the young girl narrator here. Okay, the narrator first person is here. It is the the author of this story. I could not understand why my 60-year-old grandmother was telling me, a 12-year-old, the story of her life in the middle of the night. That too, she wondered that. But I knew I loved her immensely. Underline the word immensely, children. Immensely, very much. And there had to be some reason why she was talking to me. I looked at her face. It was unhappy and her eyes were filled with tears. See, look at that one. She was a good looking lady who was usually always smiling. She was always smiling. She never cried. Even today, I cannot forget the worried expression, eh, on her face. I leaned forward and held her hand. So, what she did that? So, in this paragraph, what is that, children? Okay, the granddaughter, she's asking that why she was actually so much immensely, she was happy, why she was telling the story to a girl of 12 years like me, huh? and the story of her life in the middle, that too in the middle of the night. And it was unhappy, and her eyes were filled with tears. She was actually, her eyes were full of tears, and she was good looking lady who was usually always smiling. Even today, I cannot forget the worried expression on her face. I leaned forward and held her hand. So, what she made that the granddaughter, she held her hand, held. The past tense of the present form of the held is hold. Hold is the present and held is past tense. Okay, children. So she held her hand. Who held her hand? Here, the granddaughter. Then she asked, Avva, don't cry. What's the matter? Can I help you in any way? She asked that. Why you are crying? Yes. Can I help you in any way? Then she told, Yes, I need your help. Okay. Her grandmother told her that I need your help. You know, when you were away, Karmavira came as usual. Who is Karmavira here? The name of the magazine, weekly magazine. That time it was very famous. Okay. So now she is telling that why she was crying. So you know, when you were away, Karmavira came as usual. I opened the magazine. I saw the picture that accompanies the story of Kashi Yatre. I could not understand anything that was written. Okay, so why she was crying, she told that. Earlier, she used to tell every episode in front of her that she was telling. But now, when she was actually the narrator here, her granddaughter went to attend a marriage. She could not come for 1 week. So she stayed there. So after that, Karmavira came as usual. So therefore, she was telling that nobody to read for her. So many times I rubbed my hands over the pages, wishing they could understand what was written. So she was telling that she was not able to read whatever it was written in that. Okay. So then she told, but I knew it was not possible. She tried her best to read that. I rubbed my hands. Okay. Understand anything? It was written. Something it was not written, it was written. She was not able to understand that. But I knew it was not possible. It was impossible to read. Why impossible? Because she was not able to read and write. She was an illiterate, one who does not know to read and write. They are called as illiterate person. So she was illiterate. If only I was educated enough, I waited eagerly for you to return. I felt you would come early and read for me. I even thought of going to the school, going to the village and asking you to read for me. I could have asked somebody in this village, but I was too embarrassed to do so. I was so sad. I was feeling ashamed of myself that to ask someone because I thought that I would come to the village where you went. I felt I would have come early and read for me. I thought that I could have asked somebody that. I felt so very dependent, dependent, and helpless. Okay, why she is not embedded? If she would have read, if she would have known how to read and write, she would be an independent reader. But she is dependent, and helpless. So we were well off, but what use money when I cannot be independent? Okay. Now, what is independent according to her? Yes, independent means not depend on anyone. Now, she's feeling so sad. She was feeling that she felt very dependent and helpless. What is the money? use of money, she was telling, expressing, when I cannot be independent. If I am not independent, what is the use of money? So it is not nothing for me. I did not know what to answer. So I did not know what to answer. Ava continued. Then I have decided I want to learn the Kannada alphabet from tomorrow onwards. So I will work very hard. I will keep Saraswati Puja day during Dasara as the deadline. So that day I should be able to read a novel on my own. I want to be independent. So she has decided that I have decided I want to learn Kannada alphabet. Okay, first. And what is that? Tomorrow onwards means start that. I will work very hard. She determined to learn Kannada alphabet from her granddaughter. So, what is the deadline she was given? She has given the deadline during Dashera as the deadline. Okay. Then every day she will keep Saraswati Puja day during that. So I want to be independent. She told that I want to be independent. Who is independent here? Grandmother. Okay. I saw the determination on her face. Determination, strong willpower. Strong willpower. Say that firmly believe in oneself. I saw the determination on her face. Means 100% we say that no, definitely I will do it. Yet I laughed at her. Still she laughed at her. Why she laughed? Because at this age, she told that why at this age of 62, you want to learn the alphabet. She was laughing. All your hair is grey. Now your hair has become grey now. Your hands are wrinkled. You wear spectacles and you work so much in the kitchen. Childishly, I made fun of old lady, but she just smiled. See the firmness. She smiled. See that kind of desire to learn. She wanted to learn and she firmly believed in that. She determined. See the strong determination. Definitely, I will learn and learn to read. Okay, by Dashara, she wanted to read a novel. Which is the name of the novel, children? Yes, Kashi Yatre. Okay, now up to now. Now, next paragraph. Yes, next. For a good cause, if you are determined, you can overcome any obstacle. See, children, obstacle means any difficulties while you are doing anything, that any obstacles, difficulties or troubles. So, any trouble to overcome an obstacle, I will work harder than anybody, but I will do it. For learning, there is no age bar. Very important. Underline this particular word. Learning is continuous process, children. There is no age bar. No age bar means no age is required. Even if you're 60, 70, you can learn. So learning is an ever-ending process. Okay? It never ends here. It is an ever-ending process, children. So she believed that means definitely she will do. Now, the next day onwards, I started my tuition. Who started here tuition? Tuition means, yes, taking classes. I started my tuition. Avva was a wonderful student. Okay, whose student? Who is actually Avva here? The mother. Okay, mother of this. She used to call her mother, grandmother, as Avva. Was a wonderful student. The narrator, grandmother, she used to call her Avva, a wonderful student. The amount of homework she did was amazing. Now, children, how homework means you feel that bore. Okay, homework means it is very difficult. But that time, she was in 6 years. See that determination. Okay, the homework she did was amazing. Amazing means extremely unbelievable it is. She would read, repeat, write, and recite. So Where there is a way, there is a way. There is a will, there is a way, Mitchell. Okay, even at 62 age, grandmother, she worked very hard and she completed her homework. Okay, and should read, repeat, write, and recite what she has told that. Okay, I was her only teacher and she was my first student. Who was actually I was her only teacher? Here, the narrator Sudha Murthy. She was her only teacher and she was my first student. Who was her first student? Her grandma. Little did I know then at one day I would become a teacher in computer science and teach hundreds of students. She never thought that she would become a teacher in computer science, okay, and teach hundreds of children. But who was her first student? Yes, her only grandmother. Okay. Then Dasara festival came as usual. Secretly, I bought Kashi Yatre, which had been published as a novel by that time. Okay, my grandmother called me to the puja place and made me sit down on a stool. She gave me gift of frock material. Okay, frock material. No? It is a frock material she has given. Then she did something unusual. She bent down and touched my feet. Who? Grandmother touched the feet of granddaughter. I was surprised, taken aback. She was so surprised, not believed her eyes. Why she is touching my feet? Why? Can you tell me that, children, why she is touching the grand old lady? Okay, the grandmother is touching the feet of granddaughter. Have you heard this anywhere? Why she is touching? Okay, can you guess? Because she considered her granddaughter is her teacher. Okay, the kind of respect she has. Even she was very young, only 12 years old, younger, and she was 62 years. She is falling on her feet. Then there is another thing next. Elders never touch the feet of youngsters. Have you seen that any old persons are touching your feet? No. But here, elders never touch the feet of youngers, you know. We have always touched the feet of God. Elders and teachers, we consider that as a mark of respect. So, what is that? We consider it is a mark of respect. It is a great tradition. It's a great tradition, but today reverse had happened. Means opposite. The younger one is touching the feet of a elder one. But now what is happening here? The elder one is touching the feet of younger one. It is quite opposite that. Normally, the younger one touch the feet of the elder person, your father or mother, grandmother, grandfather. But it is quite opposite. It was not correct, she said. Who? The granddaughter said that. It is not correct. I am touching the feet of a teacher, not my granddaughter. She told that. See how interesting it is. I am touching the feet of my teacher, not my granddaughter. A teacher who taught me so well, with so much of affection. Affection means love and affection. That I can read any novel confidently in such a short period. Now I am independent. Nothing is impossible, children here. She has read the novel within few months. She is independent. Now earlier she was dependent. Now she become independent. Opposite of dependent, independent. She become independent. Now I am independent completely. It is my duty to respect a teacher. It is not written in our scripture that a teacher should be respected irrespective of gender and age. It is not mentioned anywhere. It is not written anywhere in that a teacher should be respected irrespective of gender and age. Nowhere it is actually. Okay. Now, very interesting. I did return namaskar to her by touching her feet. I did return namaskara. Who? The granddaughter. Touching her feet and gave my gift to my first student. So she gave the first student that. She opened it. What gift she might have given? Okay. A teacher is giving a gift to the student. What gift she has given as a Guru Dakshina? She gave her a frock material to her. Because she was very young that she opened it and read immediately. Then she gave a gift. What gift she do you think she has expected that? She has given a book, a novel. She opened it and read immediately the title Kashi Yatre by Triveni and the publisher name. I knew that my student had passed with flying colors. Means, what do you mean by flying colors? It is a phrase, children. Passed with flying colors means successfully she has completed her mission. She has successful in her mission. Suppose if the children who are actually they went for a cluster meet and they if they won that and they came up with a flying colors. If you are successful in any of your mission or any of your attempt, then it is called come up with pass with flying colors. Means here she has passed that. Okay. The moral of the story is how education is important in one's life. Okay, children. How Sudha Murthy was actually successful in teaching her grandmother. How grandmother was actually was successful in learning the lesson and she became an independent uh, reader. Okay, now what you have to do, I just ask you to read the lesson and select one paragraph and read with correct pronunciation, pause where you have to pause and you give proper stress and intonation and send your video to me. Just I will check how you are reading. Okay, children, thank you.